What's up, YouTube fans? Today I want to take a look at the Flame Toys Rodimus. So this was sent to me by Grant Z. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at your copy. And it is really quite brilliant. It's got a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of accessories to look at here. So I'm going to try to move relatively quickly through them just so we don't get bogged down on any particular thing. Just because there's a lot to go through. But let's take a look at this thing. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is a stylized version of Rodimus, you know, not a G1 style, more like an IDW version. So just keep that in mind. But man, the detail on this is amazing. Pretty much 100% painted all the way. Some of these red plastic parts I think are just plastic, unpainted plastic, but there's a lot of paint detail here. Gold, orange, salmon, copper, gunmetal, this darker purplish color, more copper and gold. I mean, everywhere you look, there's detail and accents. Really, really quite gorgeous. He does have two modes, so we're going to go through this mode first, and then we'll show you the other mode. But let's go over his articulation. The head itself is on a ball joint, so it gets forward and backward on that joint, side to side. Actually, I believe it's a ball joint. It might be a different joint, and you can rotate it. It recommends not rotating past 90 degrees because there is wiring built into the back of the neck, so you can see that wiring there. So just be cautious of that. The neck itself can move, which allows the head to go way down and way up, and also way to the side, do that at neck. So lots of nice movement on there. The shoulder pad itself is on its own hinge, so this can rotate forward and backward on its own. And then the arm can rotate with it if you wanted to, or you can rotate the arm independently and have this shoulder pad up, so you can have the arm up, the shoulder pad straight. Nice option there. You can come out to the side. If you combine it with this joint here underneath, you can get it up to there. Just be careful of collision, but you can get the shoulder joint up to there with both joints. The pins here are just on hinges, so you can just move those back into position. Taking a look underneath, you can see there's a rotation at the bicep. There is a double jointed elbow, gets to the full bend there. Wrist is on a hinge here, so this entire piece can move, and then the wrist itself can move. So you move all that together, and then this can go up and down, in and out, and then of course you can remove the wrist because you can replace these hands. So these pieces right here can be replaced. We'll take a look at that when we get to accessories. The rotation at that wrist. The ab and waist pieces, there's a lot going on. So there is a crunch here at the top, at this joint. So you can see it goes down to there, back to there. Here's what it looks like on the back. It's that little piece right there. Then there's another joint in the inner middle section. So that's going down and extending ever so slightly in the midsection. There's a double ab crunch there. And then you have a bend here at the lower. So combining the three, you can get it down to there, back to there. Not a lot, to be honest. You know, even combining those three joints, it is very cool how it moves, but it's not a whole lot of crunch. You do have a side-to-side movement right here at this joint, teapot style, and you have a rotation here at the waist. So there is a lot there. It's just they don't move all that much. For the hip skirts, it's a little strange. So there's a piece here on the side that can lift up separately. It does kind of break up the sculpt, and then this hip skirt can move. This entire piece can rotate, so you can get it kind of out of the way. But that'll allow the legs to go all the way up to there. Back to there, hindered by the sculpt, it's actually hitting this. You can't move that out of the way. And then out to the side, up to there. Again, hindered by the sculpt. Not my piece, so I don't want to push it. You have a double rotation at the thigh. So this inner thigh is rotating, And the outer thigh is rotating as well, so you can see that. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that much in any action figure. So that's pretty unique. Coming down to the knee, we have all this automorphing stuff. So there's actually 3 joints there. So there's one right here at the top. It is die cast. There's one here that's moving this knee pad. And then there's another one back here that allows you to get that full bend. That is very cool. Very, very cool. So you can pose him with the fully extended knee. And this pad right here actually goes on top of this piece of metal die cast here. So it's a very complex joint there, and it's very interesting engineering. For the feet, you have rotation. You have an ankle tilt that goes up to there. There is a piston right here, actually a working piston, which is pretty neat. That goes up and down. Ankle tilt, side to side. There is a panel here on the inside that will move out of the way. So you can get this tilt and it's not going to bother it. So that's pretty nice. You can get a deep tilt. And then the toe has a tilt as well, which I forgot to show on the Jazz figure. All right, now he does have some lighter features before we get into the accessories. And it actually, this one came with the batteries. I don't know if they all do, but battery compartment is right back here. You actually remove these little panels here. There's 2 screws. You take out those screws and then you'll put the batteries, LR 621s. 2 of them go in there. The button is right here. So if you press that button, you'll see his eyes and chest turn on. I'm going to turn off some lights so you can see that better. So there's what it looks like. You can see he's got blue eyes and a light up red chest. I don't know if these batteries got weak in transit or if that's as bright as it gets. I'm guessing they're weak, but it really does look nice with those blue eyes and the red chest. You can also open up these, and there's a little switch right here. So if you flip that switch, that will turn on these lights. And I'm not a big fan of having to take things apart to turn on lights, but I gotta say those do look good. So having that light up feature is nice. I wish there was an easier way to turn on. Right now let's take a look at the accessories, and there are quite a few here to look at. So starting off with the hands, he comes with these just fisted hands. Not very useful in my mind. He does come with these gripping hands. There happens to be 2 sets. I can't tell the difference. They look exactly the same to me. All of these look the same. But you can swap these out. You just pull off. This red panel likes to fall off, so just be wary of that and just put it back on. But there's the gripping hand, and that can be used with this weapon here. So this is actually a multi-faceted weapon. So first of all, he can use it as a fishing rod, and it's just kind of interesting, but this can go in the hand, and it's a little tricky to get it in here, so maybe easier to do it before you insert into the hand. But you can bring out this handle here, and now he can hold that with another gripping hand. And then you need this piece right here. So I thought this was a grappling hook. It's actually a fishing hook, but it is detailed and painted nicely. It has a translucent orange on the end. This is going to insert into here. And then this is a bendy wire, by the way. It's going to kind of just sit in here, and then you're going to press fit this clip into here. And just be careful, it's all very thin. And now you can be fishing with this hook, and you can pose it. You could get this hooked on a shark con or something. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. But that's not all you can do with this weapon. So we get these 2 effect parts. So you can use it in kind of 2 different ways. One is you can use it as a blast effect. So you can plug this into here, plugged this into here, and now it becomes, you know, a giant gun. Or if we detach this, bring this up, and we want to flip this around so that the flame is on this side. But now I can flip this up, it becomes a sword, which is kind of cool. And you can also swap this out, so you can have this more blade-ish look, and it plugs in right here too, by the way. And now you have that. Hopefully that was all on camera. But nice options for this fishing rod, you know. Here is one of the guns, done in gray, silver, gold, and green paint. Really nice. It's very Rodimus-y, and this will fit into his hand. Some of these are hard to actually get in there and hard to work the thing, so if you have a little trouble, I recommend heating it up a little bit just to be able to get everything on there. But you can get the trigger finger around like this, and then this can fit back on here, and there you go. There's that blaster. So you also get this gun, and same kind of thing, done in gray, silver, gold, and green, and very Rodimus gun as well. You can open up this little panel here and get this into the gripping hand, and like I mentioned, if you have trouble, you can heat up the hand a bit to get it to loosen up. But this will fit into here, and then you can close this up or leave it open if you want, but I think it's better looking with it closed. And that will fit right there, and now he's got two blasters. Very nice. But of course you can combine them into his bigger rifle, which I really like. So if you come to the end here, you're going to pull off this muzzle, and it reveals a little slot at the end there. The slot's going to fit onto the back of this. There's the male, here's the female. So as you connect this and push it, it pushes the front out, and it kind of combines, and it just feels right as you're combining. It's really cool. And then you're going to open up these little wings, and now we've got Rodimus's fully combined weapon. You can get him holding it with both hands. I'm sure you could get a better pose than this, but it's a really nice rifle. I really like how it looks. You can also just have him holding it with one if you prefer. Just have that. So really up to you, but I do like this gun quite a bit. We can also use some blasters on his arms. Beautifully painted and sculpted. These will fit right here. And then you can take these panels if you like, and they have a little detail there, little vents or something on them. Again, everything is beautifully painted, but you can put that on the inside. Now he's got this look. And of course you get two of those, so if you want to have it both sides, really nicely sculpted. And the last accessory, which I guess is kind of a necessity for Rodimus, is his backpack with the wings. So this is done in a gorgeous gold, yellow, multiple shades of gold, and then the red here in the center. You have all these, exhausts and pipes on here, purple and gunmetal. It's very beautiful. This can be articulated this way as well as rotated this way, and they can bend up and down. So you got lots of nice options there. And you can also open these up, mainly meant for the combined mode. But come to the back here, you can plug this in right there and pose it however you like. Personally, I like to have it kind of swept back a little bit. But yeah, that looks really good. All right, getting in close on the face, here's the standard face and helmet. You can pull this helmet piece off. It is very thin, so I'd just be careful with that, but here's what it looks like without it. It is a little strange. It looks kind of like a nymph or an elf. But you can swap out the face. So if you pull forward on this face, now that you've taken that crest off, and it's a little tricky to get it out, but you can pull that off. And remember, there's electronics in here, so you don't want to rotate the face too much. And then you just pop the new one on, and then replace the crest. There's a smiling face. There's a yelling face. That one's pretty extreme, but it does have the teeth painted there. That looks cool. And there's kind of an angry face. I think that's my personal favorite, but nice options there. You got 4 different options for faces on this. All right, now let's get him into his prime mode, and we're going to add a bunch of armor to him. And it has to be done in a certain sequence, so you want to be careful how you do it. First, just lift the arms out of the way, give yourself some room. And we'll start with the easy piece here, which is the chest. You can just pull this off. He actually has a pretty nice looking chest underneath this panel. So if you want, you could display it like this. It does look a little bit, naked, but that's pretty cool. But here's the souped up chest. And again, you could display it any combination of these parts together, based on your liking. But there's that style chest, which I think looks really nice. Same thing, it's got the Autobot logo, so it's going to light up when you turn on the lighting feature. And then we'll get started on the legs and the arms. So for the arms, we're going to take these, and these weapons actually have an option here. If you push in on the guns, it pushes out the blade. If you push in the blade, it pushes out the guns and pops up this little green thing here. And this will just plug into his arm on the outside. And then you can take one of these and plug it on the inside of the arm right here. And that's one arm, so same thing on this side. You can just, now let's talk about the shoulders. Go ahead and lift these up. And we're going to replace those with these monstrosities. These do light up too, by the way. Nice bright blue headlight there, which is really cool. This has the same little tab, so it's a little hard to see when you're doing it, but get it on there. Look like that. Now that we have both shoulders, we can take care of the legs, and the legs are the more complex part. Go ahead and pull the kneecap off. Set that aside, and I recommend keeping the parts separate just so you can keep them straight. I'm going to do one side so you can see the difference between the legs, but we're going to pull forward on this panel here, and you have to do it in this order. Front panel first, then the side panel, and then we'll take care of this. Pull the front panel on these, and you can see it's actually tabbed in to here, so it all combines together. So make sure you do it in this order again. Pull this off the side, pull this one off the side, and that's what it looks like naked. So you can compare the difference. We're going to extend down the leg on this joint. So you can see there's a little extension there. It makes it a little bit longer on that side. And now we'll start combining the armor. And like I mentioned, the sequence matters. So first, we're going to put on this side piece. This piece right here is going to fit into the gap that we just created. Go ahead and line this up and get that on. And they are side specific, so make sure you get the right side. They're specific to the legs. And then this one's going to slide on the front and actually tab into this piece and into the thigh. So make sure it all lines up and those tabs make it in there. So you can see it's a nice smooth edge now. All right, now we'll do the bottom part. So it looks like this. You should have this slot on the outside and then this maroon part on the inside. So this is going to fit out here. And then this one's going to fit on the inside. And make sure that, give it a squeeze. All right, so it's going to look like that. Then we're going to take this kneecap. And again, side specific, so make sure you have the right one. Looks like that's got a little kind of light there. Then you're going to take this, and this is going to fit right here for that kneecap, or this shin piece. Alright, and now we got the leg on there. A couple finishing touches. You can open up the wings here. This one is a little funky, but it does work, so you can have that. And then you can take these, and these will plug in kind of like boosters onto the side. There's a little slot there, side of the shoulder pads. And there you go. There is Rodimus in his prime mode. And it looks pretty wild. It's very, busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. I guess he did have a prime mode in the IDW comic. I'm not very familiar, so that's why I'm just don't know the backstory, but it does look good. I did forget to show he does have these hands here, so kind of like more expressive hands. And you also have these jazz hands if you want to display with these. I just figured it looked better for this mode to have these hands. There is some adjustability and playability in this mode too. You can actually pull outwards on these. It's a little tricky. I'm going to take it off to show you, and then you can rotate this part forward, and then that becomes, I guess, another gun or another booster. I'm not really sure. You can have that look if you want. And I did mention I'm going to turn on the lights so you can see. There's what it looks like with the headlights turned on. That's pretty cool. And then we can still turn on the eyes. So, yeah. And last but not least, we do get the display stand here. It is the same as all the others, so I'm not going to spend any time explaining it. But it will plug into the back here and hold pretty securely. And now you can kind of put some poses on him using the display stand and feel a little more secure about putting him on the shelf in a more aggressive pose. So it does help with that kind of thing, but there you go for the display stand. Alright, and as I was wrapping up the review, I found this, so that's why I'm cutting this in, but you can extend the wings and open these, and you get that bigger with the red pieces in the middle. That's very, very cool, but that's really meant for the prime mode. So final recommendations on the Flame Toys Rodimus. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5. I'm going to recommend it. This is a pretty cool figure. It does a lot of stuff. There's a lot of accessories and display options. Having the prime mode here, gives you a whole nother look for him. I'm not sure I like it, but it's just cool that they give you the option. There's all sorts of weapons that you can display in different ways. And the stand definitely helps to make it a little bit easier to pose and kind of hold it in place without worrying about it falling down. The only thing that I really had an issue with was these hip skirts. I don't like the way they work. You kind of have to get them out of the way, and then these break up the look as you pose them. So those are my favorite way to do hip skirts. But other than that, this is a really cool figure. If you're a big Rodimus fan, I think this is a really cool Rodimus to have in your collection. Or if you're a Flame Toys collector, this is one of the better Flame Toys I've looked at. Jazz is definitely the best still. Hands down, that's the best Flame Toys I've looked at. This is probably a close second to that, with the exception of the hip skirt thing. Really, really cool figure. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Grant for allowing me to take a look at his copy of these figures, and we'll see you next time.